and it was clear that prices are increasing at a faster rate than the official statistics are capturing. A few examples will suffice. We've seen over the last 3 years, even pure water has gone up threefold, cement has doubled, and Olonka Ogari has more than doubled, Ideal Milk has more than doubled, a maize bag has gone up sixfold, rice has gone up, has more than doubled. It is clear that the cost of living, as measured by prices of these items and others such as petroleum products, school fees, road tolls, and electricity bills, have increased by triple digits. I should add that these price changes do not necessarily mean that single-digit inflation is not possible. It would depend on what is being measured and over what period. Mr. Chairman, how many Ghanaians have seen a single-digit increase in the prices of the goods they normally buy in the markets and shops over the past year? I can testify that if you try to give your spouse a single-digit increase in their job money, it is clear that when you ask what is really driving this single-digit inflation, the explanation, ladies and gentlemen, is that food is what is driving, food prices is what is driving single-digit inflation. But we all know what is happening to food prices in our markets. So, what food is this that is driving this single-digit inflation? Most Ghanaians would attest to the fact that life in Ghana has gotten harder and harder over the last 3 years. Single-digit inflation has not reduced the cost of living, and in this regard has been rendered practically meaningless. Ghanaians are in fact experiencing a triple-digit inflation in their pain and suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the relationship between single-digit inflation and interest rates. One area in which the attainment of reduced inflation to single-digit levels should reflect is in reduced bank lending rates for loans. Between 2001 and 2008, for example, 2001 and 2008, inflation was reduced by more than half, from 40% to 18%. What did we expect? We expected interest rates to reduce. Interest rates were reduced from 44% to 27%. That is a normal relationship. Now, you come to 2009, and inflation is at 18.1%. And then you say we have reduced inflation by half to single digits, 8.8%. But what has happened to bank lending rates? They've hardly moved. Bank lending rates between 2009 and today have only come down by 1%. Whilst you say you have reduced inflation by half. So why is it that what we are seeing is really an increase in the spreads? Doesn't really add up. So could it be that banks, like the suppliers of goods in Malata market, have not quite bought into the single-digit inflation idea? The financial services market, like our traders in Makola or Malata, appear oblivious to the fact that we have single-digit inflation prevailing in the economy. So where are we collecting our price data for the computation of inflation? Which markets are we visiting? I would like to know. Mr. Chairman, the third piece of evidence I would submit is the relationship between inflation and exchange rates. The exchange rate is just a measure of the relative price of goods between one country and another, the same good. So when prices move, you expect exchange rates to move. When you have inflation, the exchange rate should depreciate. Right? When you have price stability, the exchange rate should remain stable. Those are the relationships that you expect to hold. And for Ghana, these relationships have held for years. You see what is happening to inflation here, and you see exchange rate depreciation. Since the 90s, that we've plotted this, it's sort of going the same direction, in terms of inflation. It went all the way until it got here. And all of a sudden, Bibia Sasa. You are seeing, this doesn't make sense, right? That you are seeing inflation remaining stable at low single digits, and the exchange rate is rapidly depreciating and depreciating and depreciating. Simply put, what this chart is showing is that there appears to have been a break in a standard relationship under this government. The exchange rate is rapidly depreciating while inflation is in single digits and stable. Ladies and gentlemen, something does not add up. The rapid exchange rate depreciation, and I'm going to be addressing the exchange rate depreciation issue in a moment, but it suggests that inflation could actually be higher than what is being captured by the data. Mr. Chairman, it is clear that when it comes to established relationships between the cost of living, interest rates, and exchange rates, the single-digit inflation in Ghana is not consistent with what we expect to see. If single-digit inflation is meaningless for the cost of living, meaningless for interest rates, and meaningless for exchange rates, meaningless for jobs, then what is it for? To put it another way, if single-digit inflation does not help with respect to the prices of the things you buy, the cost of money you borrow, the value of the cedi to the dollar, or help the youth get jobs, then what is the point? I would, however, have to leave the judgment on whether we actually have single-digit inflation to Ghanaians who shop in our markets every day. Mr. Chairman, the rate of growth of public debt is a matter of concern. Ghana's total external debt has increased from 3.9 billion at the end of 2008 to 7.1 billion in 2011. That is external debt, an increase of 82% in 3 years. This does not include the China loan of 3 billion. In just the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's total public debt, just the last 3 years, has increased. The total public debt, just look at where it was in 2008. The total debt, which is domestic debt and external debt together, our total public debt has increased from 9 billion Ghana cedis to 25 billion Ghana cedis. In just 3 years, 164% increase. What is mind-boggling, Mr. Chairman, is that even after adjusting for HIPIC, the stock of public debt that has been accumulated over the last 3 years alone is higher than the total stock of debt accumulated by all other governments since independence to 2008. The government has accumulated more debt in 3 years than all governments have done in 52 years. And this is what is worrying. What is increasingly clear is that corruption in Ghana is on the increase, as documented by the worsening performance in the Corruption Perception Index published by Transparency International. The overpricing of supplies contracts in areas such as health, education, and infrastructure, as well as judgment debts paid for work not done, is a major concern. Government